Hi guys, another step to better well-being is being active. Now this is pretty obvious, isn't it? But sometimes it's quite difficult to actually get out the door and be active. Now what are we talking about when we're talking be active? Are we talking about a 10k run in less than 40 minutes? Maybe that's going to be a little bit difficult if you haven't actually been out running in some time. So no, we're not talking about that, we're talking about just being active. So that could mean using the stairs instead of the lift. That could mean going to walk the dog twice a day instead of once a day. Or walking the dog around the block instead of just letting the dog out in the garden. That could mean I'm going to park further away from the shops every time I go shopping. So you've got that little bit extra activity in your life, that bit of energizer. And those people that work in an office, sat behind their laptop all day, and then you go home and sit down, probably know where I'm coming from. So being active doesn't necessarily mean you have to get your gym kit off and you have to go and pay lots of money and subscribe to the gym. So with all that in mind, I've got this simple model to help you input some activity into your day. So it's the ABC. So the first day is the anchor. Navy will like that one. The second letter, B, is the behaviour. So this is the being active. What is it you're going to do? And the C is celebrate. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the B. So the B, the behaviour. Now the key to this is the behaviour needs to be nice and simple. So if, for example, you were going to do 50 press-ups a day, that's probably a little bit too much if you've not really done press-ups that often and you just suddenly want to decide to do 50 press-ups. So maybe start with 10 press-ups, or going back to the 10k run. If you haven't been running, you're not going to want to set a target of doing 10k straight off the off. Maybe you want to do 1k. So keep this goal as low as possible. Now the key to this is if you want to do more on that occasion, you can do more, but always keep the goal as minimal as possible. The next one is the anchor. When are you going to do it? So for example, whenever I need to walk the dog, I'm going to make sure I do 2 laps of the block every time I walk the dog. So I could be doing 4 laps a day. If I decide, well, I feel good today, I want to actually do 6 laps around the block, then that's perfectly fine. But always keep the laps around the block to 2 and keep the anchor every time I go and walk the dog, because you're more likely to do it every time consistently. And then going to the C is celebrate. Celebrate your achievement, the fact that you've actually done that action, you've actually been active. Celebrate that. Give yourself a pat on the back. And it's not the amount of activity that you've done, it's the fact that you've done the activity. And that way, when you come around to it next time, you're never going to put it off because you know it's quite simple and you know you're going to celebrate it after. Okay, so that's the ABC model. So get out there, go and experience the nature. Nature and environment, I think, is the theme for the Mental Health Awareness Week. So get out there and experience it. It has a profound effect sometimes when you're out there and you're off your phone's in your pocket, it's out of the way, or don't take it with you, unless you want to put it on Strava. But when you're out there and you're experiencing the birds singing, you're experiencing the greens and the rich colours that we have in England, it has an effect on the human, on our minds and on our bodies. You may not realise it straight away, but actually if you keep doing it, it's good to be outside, especially if you work in an office. See you next time.